Hello. There we go. Where are we? Are we here?
We're here.
Michael,
We're here. Check,
what's
check,
up?
check.
What's up, dog? You back from the Matrix? Okay, cool.
I'm back from the Matrix.
What's the camo for? Are you? What
It's
are you?
not
where are
camo.
You
It's
invading someplace?
No, this is one of my African looking drumming shirts.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
It's African camo.
Yeah, it's good
That's
for
what the
Hoosiers.
That's what the gorillas wear.
Yeah.
The anti-colonial gorilla.
I could fit in with both crowds. I can fit in
dude.
with yeah.
Well, that's your long game, isn't it?
I don't have a long game.
But no, when the race war goes down, you're gonna be cool with both sides, right?
Cool with both sides. Yeah.
You're looking down range here for what's inevitable. And
well,
what, you don't think it's inevitable? I thought you people thought it was a race war was coming. Isn't that?
Okay. On the topic of the race war, it's not necessarily inevitable.
You're gonna let me say you people and just let that pass? You should not let that pass ever. Okay? Whenever I say that, you should smash me in the face. Go ahead.
I don't think a race war is inevitable, and I think the number one way to avoid a race war is to support nationalist politics. But Jim Goad would constantly bring up, we're fans of, his racial consciousness was started, I believe it was the Rodney King riots, when he saw that trucker get dragged from his truck and get beaten up, and he saw, living in LA, that no matter how down he was with the brothers, his skin made him on a particular side no matter what. I think also going to prison and seeing prison gangs down racial lines, that if a race war were to break out, we don't have a choice whose side we're on. Like, yeah, it's the lines are already drawn for us, and that's what's going to happen. So I might be a spy, or I might be an informant, somebody who knows about the ways of the other culture. I might be a translator for diplomacy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Afghanistan translators that we left behind. Yeah.
Excuse me. I speak jive.
We left them behind. You know that, right? We wouldn't let them on the plane. Those are the guys clinging onto the side of the C-130, and falling off, at a Kandahar. No, don't be a translator, man. You want to be like the Jewish general in the Confederate Army. That guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just he's ready to go anyway. He can work any side at any time.
And a lot of people don't know this, but Nathan Bedford Forrest led a cadre of black soldiers in the Confederacy. His particular troop was black.
I don't know.
Look it up.
How many slaves actually took up a rifle for the Confederate? I mean, I know some did, but I don't.
There were
how big was the contingent there?
There was at least a dozen or two that served under Nathan Bedford Forrest, and they're particularly famous.
Exactly, and they were all named Kunta Kinte. Oddly,
yeah.
All right. I think we should get back to reality here. What people consider reality, known as the news.
Always about race.
Okay. Did I? Was that me?
Yeah.
You said here you come wearing a guerrilla anti-colonial African army uniform, and I'm supposed to not talk about race?
No, I'm like Quentin Tarantino whenever he has a new movie out and he starts wearing Kangos and starts speaking jive.
Except you're more authentic. I'm just saying. You're the real deal.
I'm the real deal.
Because you play drums.
Yeah.
Tarantino doesn't play drums.
Tarantino, no, but
all right, man.
Yeah.
Enough of this race talk.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to our international audience.
It's amazing. We have so many. We have, oh my God. No, but we got Norwegians and Danes. Shout out. Put your hands up if you're in the chat. You probably are, because for some reason we got not even, I don't know why we don't have I guess some Swedes, but there's a bunch of Norwegians and Danes who are fans of ours, and then Brazil, several
Brazil.
Well, we got super fans from Brazil who join us in the after show. every Wednesday night. But yeah, so what were you going to say?
Oh, and also to our Somalian friends, we used to have some Somalis who checked us for
we
a
had
while.
That's right. We had a Vin and his
Vin.
buddies, yeah, and who is in Mogadishu. That's right.
Yeah.
We got a Somalia audience. No, I looked at the audience numbers like last week, and it's phenomenal. We got like damn near every country on earth is watching this show.
But the UK, I want to talk about the UK. If the UK can still hear us and see us,
are they still a country?
They are.
They have no military, so how can they be a country? Because they've given all their tanks to Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, they are trying to be the anti-America in their dying gasps.
I almost wish Putin would invade them just to show them what idiots they are. But he has, of course, zero interest in invading the United Kingdom, as did Hitler. Oh gosh, newsflash. Yeah, Hitler had never had any intention or ability to invade the United Kingdom, just like Vladimir Putin, just like Joe Stalin, too, by the way. Stalin had no interest or intention of invading the United Kingdom, yet our foreign policy and British foreign policy for about 100 years has been shaped entirely around those two assumptions. Isn't it amazing? But continue, sorry.
Yeah, but the new UK Online Safety Act took effect a couple weeks ago.
Are they going to be safer now?
They are.
I hope so. God, I hope so.
Yeah. If listening to explicit songs on Spotify is dangerous and accessing Wikipedia is dangerous.
What kind of explicit?
Anything?
Are they Jew hate songs? Is that what you mean by explicit?
I think, honestly,
is that is it about? What is it about, really?
It might just be legit. Okay, so this is right up your alley, because it was originally marketed as an anti-porn law, like keep children.
Yeah, that's my alley. Yeah.
Yep. Well, keep children safe.
That's great. That's fantastic. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Protect children.
Oh, everybody! Hey, that's my alley. Just so you know, it's the porn thing. Porn alley. That's me. That's that. Continue. Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, keep the kids safe. Keep them from accessing pornography. Keep them safe from predators online. But it has basically continued to outlaw political speech in the UK, and it's making YouTube harder to access. Yeah, its VPNs have shot up 1,800%. Wikipedia has a lawsuit against the UK right now for complying with this. It's shutting down all sorts of smaller firms that can't comply with the regulations, and everything's consolidating into big tech again. But basically, you have to upload a photo ID to do anything on the internet now. Social media, video games,
in some states.
Music. No, right? in the UK.
Oh, sorry, UK.
Yeah. And now this is kind of modeled after a little bit of what's been happening in the United States.
True. Sorry, it is true in a few states. I think Louisiana and maybe Texas. I know Louisiana has this, right? You have to, for porn at least, I think there's age verification.
Yep, there's age verification. I think 19 states, but
19 states. Okay, yeah.
The great state of Indiana, the great state of
Idaho. You're saying in the UK, which is funny because they have the lowest age of consent laws.
Oh yeah.
Those states, the states with the lowest age of consent laws, which are 16, by the way, 16, have the age, or those are the same states that have age verification laws. Now, the call is coming from inside the house. Right-wing pedophile hunters, guys, you look inside your own house. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, but this was a right-wing cause originally to put age verification laws on the internet, including
because the liberals have already done it. That's my point. The liberals have already had the highest age of consent laws, and they've already established from feminism. They've established these huge cultures of sexual censorship, so that we all live in puritanical bubbles if we live in blue states, whereas the good fun stuff is happening in red states. But anyway, so they're the ones who crack down because they're catching up, is my point. To the repression of the Democratic liberals. I'm serious.
I think
No?
I think
Yes.
I think the repression is you can watch as much porn as you want in a liberal state, but you can't go to a bar and hit on a woman.
Right.
In a conservative state, you can go
Yeah.
out to a bar, hit on a woman. There's probably crazy swinger stuff happening.
True.
But you can't access porn without uploading a ID.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, which is very confusing.
Yeah.
We need to do like a sexual analysis of American politics because you're right. Isn't that odd?
Yeah.
What is that?
But yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, this runs deep, but the big
sure
thing
does.
though, is right-wing policymaker right-wing policy think tanks put this on the forefront, like Heritage Foundation people, and it got passed in conservative states for the last 2 or 3 years. It got through, and the UK modeled that to build this massive online censorship surveillance state where you can't use the internet at all, and you can't without uploading a photo ID. So you're getting digital IDs coming through, and basically outlawing any sort of anti-immigrant talk, any sort of right-wing politics is deemed as potentially harmful. So the technology that you engineered is coming to bite you in the butt for the right.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, I'm just thinking about my interview with Kit Clarenberg from a couple weeks ago, and the theme of that conversation, and something that I came to realize in addressing Kit's work and in talking to him, is the extent to which British elites have not led or directed, but have cajoled, sometimes inspired, you can say, American presidents and policymakers since World War I, in terms of foreign policy. So you can look at World War I, World War II, and even Iraq, and even recent, and with Ukraine for sure. The UK has been kind of the vanguard, the edge, actually, of the empire. And I think because of that, it makes sense to talk about it as, and this is what Kit and I, it's really important conversation, actually, honestly, think should be considered always as the Anglo-American empire. So now when I talk about the empire, or I say the American empire, I kind of pause and cringe a little bit, because I think it should always be Anglo-American, because just look at, you know, the relations between the governments, again, in the 1910s, the 1930s, the 1940s, and in the last 20 to 30 years. And you will see it's usually Winston Churchill or Tony Blair or someone in the British government, like pushing Woodrow Wilson or pushing Franklin Roosevelt or pushing George Bush or pushing Biden and Trump, right, to be harder, more aggressive, more imperialistic, frankly, against the Germans or the Iraqis or the Russians, whatever it is at the moment. But yeah, it's been a pretty close collaboration. It's been not a close collaboration. It's been an organic, symbiotic relationship between the two countries for a long time, which is odd because the US, of course, surpassed and overtook the UK as the global leading empire. And the UK, and I don't know as much about that half of it, that side of it, but I think there was there must have been some kind of general agreement among the elite in the UK to allow the Americans to take that position while directing them and maintaining kind of some sort of hold on their psyche, which is odd because the UK materially has basically no power, especially now that they've given away all of their tanks to Ukraine. But so, I mean, of course, the US could wipe them off the map in an instant. They have negligible military power, even compared to like some third world countries. But anyway, so my point being that there is something about the hold on the American elite consciousness for more than a century that makes me really worried every time what you're talking about, some crackdown, some repression on speech or civil liberties in the service of state security, national security, starting in UK, traveling over here very quickly, because again, we have followed their lead on epic, massive questions internationally many, many times. And so I wouldn't be surprised at all if pretty soon they're going to be doing to us and our speech what they're doing to the speech of people in London. Is that
I get your anxiety on this. This is why people want you to talk to Tom. No. This is why people want you to talk to Tom Luongo. Tom Luongo has been huge on this.
Really?
He's been monitoring markets, and war is bad for business, and he's just a money guy, and he's just interested in U.S. Treasury bonds.
Yeah.
And the more he looks into it, he just keeps saying it's about half a dozen people in the UK that are instigating every single war all the time. And if you just got rid of them, we could have so much peace and prosperity. And he just comes at it from a financial angle, but it's always London to him, and it's always these elites in the UK. And I think this is important, anticipating the Alaska summit coming on Friday.
Perfect.
And the Trump policy shift. JD Vance, every time he goes to Europe, he berates the elites for not having free speech in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
He's been berating Europe at every single chance. The leaked messages from Signalgate are like, I can't believe we're bailing Europe out again. It's always been this divide against Europe. The European elites hate Trump, and the Trump administration is doing everything they can to signal a shift here. I think the EU deal was a part of that, basically putting the EU to heel. Oh, also what you were talking about, that dynamic. Isn't it funny how the European elite view is always seen as moderation and like wisdom in opposition to American brashness?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Americans are these brutes that just want to be isolationist or whatever. That's seen as brutishness and brashness, and wanting to go to war with Germany or Russia is seen as wisdom and moderation and learning from the annals of history. But the European elites seem to be cut out now of the discussion. They're not leading the Ukraine war anymore. I mean, they're paying for the weapons now from the United States, but they're not in the conversation for the peace talks coming into Friday in Alaska. Zelensky's not formally invited. And it seems like this is entirely between Trump and Russia, and Ukraine, Zelensky, EU completely ignored, secondary. The United States has their own agenda on this.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the historical origins, perhaps, or continuity with and it's fun. Yeah, you're right, that Europeans in the American mind are usually considered to be the more sophisticated, more intelligent, more articulate white people, and we should listen to them. We should generally defer to them because they are more wise, because they're European, because they're older as a culture. I don't know, whatever it is in the American idiot mind. It's true. There's a general deference to them, and in particular the Brits, because we hear that accent, we just assume what they're saying is right because they sound so smart. I mean, it is that dumb. And by the way, it really is that dumb. And in fact, like I think a lot of, as I sort of said earlier, even a lot of American presidents and senators and Congress people and corporate CEOs have fallen for that. They listen to a British accent and they think they're smarter, and so they defer to it. So I'm thinking about, as I said, the history of British imperial aggressiveness. And I think, and this is something maybe there's a book written on this, but I would bet this is true, that once the United States began to take over the role or position of the global hegemon, which actually began around World War I, because that's when steel production, the dominant steel producing country, it switched from the UK to America right around 1900. We overtook the British in about 1900 in terms of steel production and exports. And so from then on, once that happened, it was pretty clear to the elites who studied these things and thought about these things that the US would eventually take over as the global hegemon. And it's an important point. I'm not sure I've ever seen this identified as the turning point, but it is. As a global overseas imperialist power, of course, the U.S. had like conquered North America, for more or less, by that point. But as an overseas power, it wasn't clear that the U.S. would become a global hegemon until then, until the steel production, largely thanks to Andrew Carnegie, a Scots-born weirdo. But yeah, by 1900-ish, I believe it's around 1890, 1900, when the U.S. steel production overtook the Brits. So here's what I'm saying. So that's 125 years. When it's looked like to anybody who could see this, that the U.S. would become the global hegemon. I'm betting, it's a speculation, but I'm betting that the likes of when did Winston Churchill come to fore? Right then, right after then. He became famous and important in the 1910s, right? So once the U.S. was clearly going to was ascendant as the future global hegemon, Winston Churchill became a freak, meaning a maniac, meaning hyper-aggressive. Look at Gallipoli. And he was willing to, and look what he did with India, and look what he did with the starvation blockade in Germany, against Germany, and these radical war crimes and radical exposure of his own troops, e.g. Gallipoli, to slaughter in the service of some tactic that might or might not work. And if you look at his words, and this is where Daryl Cooper was totally right when he said this to Tucker Carlson, and I've thought this for a long, long time. If you look at the words of these guys, and in meaning like world leaders, but especially Winston Churchill, just go look at what he was saying about stuff. He's a psycho killer. He was. I mean it. He was a psychotic. He was a murderous psycho. Meaning he would have been classified as such if he had been on a modern psychologist's couch. I mean it. He and many other world leaders I can think of fit in that category. If you just look at their discourse, their language, many modern psychiatrists would absolutely categorize them as psychotic, and as dangerous. So I do think, though, that once the United States took over, at least prospectively, as the leader of the world, right, that takes responsibility off the Brits in a certain sense. They no longer have to be the humanitarians. They no longer have to be the good colonialists. They no longer have to be setting an example, etc. Because the Americans will, take up the slack. It's their responsibility now. So we will lead them by the nose around the world and tell them where to bomb and strafe and kill people and invade and conquer and colonize in perpetuity. We'll tell them where to go and when to do it, but we're not going to have any responsibility. So we can be especially irresponsible about that. And so I do think that's why Churchill and the likes, and ever since, and Europeans too, these ultra hawks, ultra anti-Russian Western imperialists, I think they've had a free reign since the United States took the mantle as the dominant power. I just theorized this off the dome in the last 5 minutes, but I do think it's right now that I think about it, as you brought it up.
Have you noticed? Well, we've talked about this, that support for the Ukraine war in the United States comes from a liberal fetishization of Europe. Europe is democracy, and we have to defend it from the brute in the East.
Right.
Yeah. And,
keep going.
Go. Yeah, totally. But yeah, so you have the elites in Europe leading the charge, and then you have the elites in the United States wanting to be European and wanting to save Europe and seeing that as their purpose. Yeah.
Why else would NATO exist? Why else would we have all of the American Washington, D.C., Upper West Side elites caring so much about NATO and Ukraine? You're right. There's a particular, they have a particular fetishization of Europe. And I know this because I've known many of these people, and that's exactly right. They're all Europhiles of some kind or another. They all think soccer's really cool. They all think French food is the best. They have all taken regular vacations to Europe. And they generally think that European society, culture, government is organized better than American life. They generally want some kind of welfare state like Europe. They like the cultural homogeneity of it, although they won't say that.
Well, yeah, that's changing too, because the homogeneity is changing. And
right. But you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. So like crazy shit like this happens all over the world all the time, right? There are, but they care about Europe. They care about saving Europe. Now, there is a strategic cold-blooded reason for them to be obsessed with Europe too, which comes from, of course, Brzezinski and The Grand Chessboard, 1997 book, in which he lays out American foreign policy and what it should be in perpetuity, which it's been,
that's for nerds, though. That's for people,
right? Yeah. So but he said, we need to concentrate on Eurasia, but there is something important there, which is that Eurasia, for whatever reasons, has been the industrial center, the economic center of the world outside of the United States. So if you control it, you control the world, which is true. But you're right. I don't think that's why the Hollywood elites get animated about Ukraine. I don't think that's why, the New York elites get animated about Ukraine and NATO. I don't think that's why the London elites care so much about defending Ukraine and supporting NATO. No, you're right. I think it's about a particular fetishization of Western Europe in particular, and wanting to extend it. It's an imperialist idea too, right? Wanting to extend Western European culture into Eastern Europe. That's who the dissidents in Russia are. The pro-Western dissidents in St. Petersburg, they're mostly in St. Petersburg. The opponents of Putin, who, by the way, are largely tolerated, but whatever. But that's who they are. They are part of that. They are part of that movement to transform Eastern Europe, and in particular Russia, into Western cultures. That's been going on for, let's see, Woodrow Wilson sent troops into Russia in 1919 to overthrow the Bolsheviks. So it's been 106 years. 106 years we've been doing this, trying to overthrow that country's government and replace it with something that's amenable to us, and replacing their culture, the Russian culture, with a culture that looks like the culture of London and New York. So go ahead. Alaska, though. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. There's two ways to branch off from that. One, I do want to talk about Alaska in that, hey, do you think this thing might actually end? Do you think the first time head of state, United States, head of state, Russia, have talked together in the same room since Trump was in power, and for a couple summits, but through this conflict, the first time they're actually getting together in a room?
Yeah.
Ukraine is off the table. I think the craziest voices are Western Europe and Ukraine, and they're off the table. And Yeah.
The craziest voices are Ukraine and Western Europe. I mean, that's funny to say, but it's also true. Yeah, I mean, meaning that they're the voices that continue to insist that Ukraine can win the war and take back the territory. I mean, I'll say what I've been saying for a year and a half. Yeah, no, year and a half now, because it was the great offensive, so-called, was the fall of 2023 by Ukraine, which was going to turn back the tide and break the Russian fortifications, and they were going to seize Donetsk and Luhansk and Crimea, I guess, was the fantasy. And of course, it fell apart. It shattered against the Russian front lines, and nothing has changed since then, except a bunch of Ukrainians and quite a few Russians too, but just obscene numbers of Ukrainians have been killed since then, and the front line is basically not moved. These maniacs who work for think tanks in Washington, or of course who work for the Ukrainian government, will tell you that Russia has sustained more casualties than Ukraine has, that somehow more Russians have been killed, but we know that's not true. Even if it were true, we know that both sides have sustained unbelievable tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people have been killed, mostly soldiers. But there are videos of people just driving by cemeteries in Ukraine with their camera phone on, and it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Just to the horizon, you'll see these cemeteries, headstones with Ukrainian veteran flags, and they'll just drive, and it'll be literally for miles, and it'll just endless rows and rows and rows of military headstones in Ukraine. It's horrific. I mean, Russian artillery has been known for decades as being the most effective, lethal military force on Earth. The Russians are the ones who perfected ground warfare for good reason. They're the best at it. Why? Gee, can't imagine, except that they've fought massive ground wars for 3 centuries now, almost constantly. There's not really, how many decades have the Russians not been fighting a ground war? I mean, in or near their own territory. I mean, imagine that. Americans can't even begin to conceive of that. But the point is that tactically, strategically, and importantly, culturally, they're very, very, very good at it and used to it, and have developed, because they've had incredibly good scientists and engineers for decades for various reasons. They just have, like, in terms of an industry, they just have the best artillery, military industrial complex in the world. And then their tanks are right up there too. They're considered to be essentially equivalent to American tanks, but the artillery is what's done most of the killing in Ukraine, and there's just no stopping it. So Putin knows, and he's known for a year and a half at least, that he's won, and he's been telling everyone that we've won, Russia has won, we're not leaving the East or the South, and you need to accept this. And the West and America, until recently, has just been insisting, no, we're going to continue, we're going to win. We're just going to give more weapons and money to Ukraine, and then we'll eventually win. And Russia and Putin's just been sitting there and sort of smiling at them and like he's been waiting for them to concede, which is all that can happen. And so it's just a question of how long that'll take, and maybe Alaska will be the beginning. We'll see.
In terms of diplomacy, yeah, Putin and Trump have had long phone calls together, and the Trump administration has worked in a way where Trump will talk to Witkoff in a room that's been swept and bugged for bugs, and it's just him and Witkoff. And then Witkoff will go to a room with Putin. That room gets swept for bugs, and there's like high levels of operational security and trust between the two parties that have been building up since Trump got in office. And to bring them together, I think means that they have something to announce. Either that, like, they wouldn't come together if they had nothing on the table. It'd be kind of embarrassing, I think. So I hope, I'm just hoping and praying right now that something actually happens. That this could be it. This could be the end of it.
Putin doesn't fly a lot.
Yeah,
he doesn't fly out. He doesn't fly out of the country a lot or much, and for good reasons. One is the arrest warrant.
Mm-hmm.
The ICC arrest warrant, but he also, just because he could get shot down by all kinds of different people. So yeah, I mean, you might, again, Mr. Weimer, you're probably right. You're usually right about everything, and I think it's a great point. Yeah, to announce this and to do this and to fly to Alaska and to make this whole thing happen and announce it way in advance. Why would Putin do this unless he was ready to make a serious, I don't want to say concession, I want to say acceptance of the concession of the West? This is going to be, again, what everyone needs to understand is, like, the military reality on the battlefield tells us that the only thing that can happen is that Putin will win. He's just waiting for he's waiting for their concession speech. That's really it. He's waiting for the West to give their concession speech. And maybe, probably, perhaps, now that you convinced me, that's what will happen in Alaska. Trump will give the concession speech ending the Ukraine war.
Yeah. Rubio said that we know what Putin wants. That's what he said about this meeting, that we know what Putin wants now, and it's just a matter of of coming to a deal together. So, yeah.
I thought he wanted to conquer the world.
Yeah.
That's what Marco Rubio and everybody else has been telling us for decades. He wants to conquer all of Europe and then all of the world, and that's why we need to go to war with him right now. These fucking people, man. Mm-hmm. And I've been arguing with them for decades, and I've been saying, what on earth do you think Putin has in mind vis-a-vis us? Or vis-a-vis Paris? Or vis-a-vis, are you kidding? Not only does he not want to invade any country in Western Europe, even if he did, he has no way to do it. Yes, they seized eastern and southern Ukraine, and they did so successfully, but that was about it. They couldn't do much more, and it wasn't that easy. They've done it, but it wasn't. The idea of, like, conquering Poland, for instance, which is what many people think they want to do or something. I don't know. These fantasies, or Lithuania. Like, and then holding them and seizing them and converting them to some Putin political economy or something. I don't know. What is even Putinism? There is no such thing. It's not the Soviet Union exporting communism, guys. It's just so. But the idea that that's what he wants to do or can do it, even if he did want to, there is simply no way on earth that Russia could colonize Poland. I mean, have you guys been to Warsaw? It doesn't look like it did in the 19th century. It's a major modern metropolis with skyscrapers and people bustling around the streets and shopping malls and everything. I mean, to conquer these days, to conquer and colonize someplace like that in perpetuity is like, it's a scale of military operation that we gave up on in about 2005. Feel me? Iraq was the last time anybody tried that. Have you noticed? Everybody, the West, Europe, America, the freaky colonizer maniacs who have been going crazy for 200 years around the world, they stopped right then. That was the last chance, the last try. They were like, Algeria, oh, we got our asses killed and fucked up and driven out and yada yada. And Africa was a mess, and we got Mao'd out of Kenya and yada yada. Vietnam, man, that sucked. And we got, yeah. But they were like, one more time. 2003, the neocons were like, let's just one more time. And this time we're going to win. And when we win in Iraq, we're going to be able to, like, set up bases all over the world and rule the world. And then that went belly up. We got driven out. And since then, since about 2005, 2006, since Fallujah, when actual serious numbers of American boys got their asses killed, Since then, there's been no attempt to colonize anywhere by any Western country anywhere in the world. 20 years now. Isn't that interesting? The moral of the story, the lesson to be learned, everybody, I'm sorry to say, support Hamas. Like, if you want the kids to stop being killed in Gaza, the only way to do it effectively is to send Hamas some guns. Who else is stopping it? Who's going to stop it? Is your protest with your kafiyas in Brooklyn? Is that going to stop Netanyahu from doing what he's doing? No. The fighters of the Al-Qassam brigades. Yeah, with rocket launchers and AK-47s, running out of tunnels with sandals and Adidas sweatpants on, dropping bombs inside of IDF tanks. Yeah, that's who's going to stop it. If you want to stop the killing of children in Gaza, if you wanted to stop the killing of children in Iraq, it was the resistance. The anti-war movement, and I was there. I was in all the stupid-ass protests in 2003, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there were hundreds of thousands of us, sometimes millions around the world protesting this thing. And George W. Bush looked at us and was like, whatever, and ramped it up. Then Obama ramped it up even further. The war on terror kept going and going, no matter how many protests we had. You know who defeated it? You know who stopped it? You know who saved those children in the Middle East from being killed by American bombs? It was the Taliban. It was the Taliban. Who else stopped why else did the US leave Afghanistan? Because the anti-war movement? Don't make me laugh. I wish. No, it was the Taliban. It was their AK-47s who kept shooting American soldiers in the face. Why on my gosh, how the nerve of these barbarians shooting us when we invade their country. But that's who the Viet Cong. They ended the Vietnam War. They drove out the US Army. Like, who do you think it was the Yippies and Abby Hoffman and my stupid parents and like all these hippies in the 60s who ended the Vietnam War? No, it went till 1973. Did you not know? The biggest protests in world history were a 68, 69, 1970, got even bigger, 71. I think the biggest ever in history was 71, 72. War keeps going. In 72, they're annihilating hundreds of thousands of peasants across Cambodia and Vietnam and Laos. I mean, just unbelievable carpet bombing. Didn't matter. 73, they finally withdraw. It had nothing to do with my fucking anti-war parents or anybody else in that generation. It was the resistance on the ground with guns, guys. I'm sorry. To be anti-war, you can't be a pacifist. You got to be at some point. If you want the United States out of the Middle East, you have to, on some level, be on the side of the resistance with guns. And right now, that's Hamas and Palestinian, what's it called? I forget the name. The other Islamist guerrilla force in Gaza that does damage. PIJ. Anyway, those two. The fighters, the Al-Qassam brigades. Those are the fighters of Hamas. It's about 20,000 ish. Who knows? Something like that. Men. You got to shoot those tanks. You got to drop bombs in those tanks. That's the only way to stop those children from being killed and maimed. Tell me how else? I mean, it's a weird thing. Now, again, does that mean I endorse everything Al-Qassam fighters believe and Hamas believes? I mean, not even close. I'm Thad Russell. I'm a degenerate hippie. But I want those kids to not be killed anymore. And the only way to stop that, and I want Palestine to be free. And the only way that's going to ever happen, clearly, because we've tried we've tried for a long time to talk. Talking doesn't work. I wish it did. No, I mean,
well,
fuck, man.
Okay.
No, because I mean, I have friends who who've had, not now, but have had sons in the IDF. You know, it's like a thing. If you've ever known an Israeli, basically, you've known someone who's been in the IDF. It's not easy, but it's true. Like, I'm sorry, if you choose to be a colonist over there, I mean, it's like, yeah, you could also be the only white guy in Compton. You could just choose to have like a house in Compton and then like announce that this property that you just bought will never allow any Negroes into it in perpetuity. And I'd be like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm like, look, go for it. Just, I don't want to support that endeavor because I think you're going to get shot. It's the same thing. So anyway, it's just a barbaric, disgusting thing. And I'm so sad that it's attached to Jews, but go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I disagree with your prescription of supporting Hamas.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah.
That seems obvious to me.
It seems, yeah.
Okay.
But
whatever, Michael, weirdo.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. God, you're really radical. You're really out there. I gotta
really
say,
radical.
I didn't know when we started this show. I thought, I don't know, do I want to talk to this kid? He's pretty radical, but wow. Now he's like, don't support Hamas. I'm like, whatever, weird. Okay.
Shoot. I read Pat Buchanan's State of America.
Really?
Yeah.
No, stay on that fucking point. Wait, hold up, bro. Well, Vietnam. Tell me why Vietnam ended.
Richard Nixon, peacemaker president.
Very smart, as always.
Yeah, but that's on his gravestone. There's no higher honor than being a peacemaker, or whatever the quote is.
Did you take my Vietnam War course or something? No. Yeah, but awesome point. Yeah. But listen, seriously, okay, great point, fucker. But why did Nixon launch what he called the Vietnamization program of transferring all the onus of the fighting onto the South Vietnamese army, right? And started to withdraw troops. So, right, Nixon did withdraw. He did begin the withdrawal and the end of the war, but why?
I mean, that was
because of the anti-war movement, because of the hippies.
No, not because of the hippies. And I do want to talk about this because
then why?
Well, no, it's just he was given a horrible situation. Just because he was given a horrible situation by JFK and LBJ doesn't mean that the Viet Cong were right, or that they were
not right.
Yeah,
no, it's not about being. It's not about being right.
No, the thing is, it's just a matter of how you execute your wars and which wars you choose to fight. And just because America launches a stupid war doesn't mean that you should support the opponents fighting the opposition to that stupid war necessarily. I think there are diplomatic outs to stupidity.
Support meaning I hope they win. This fight. Just this fight. Mm-hmm. Don't you?
I don't.
In 1971, whose side are you on?
The
Gooks or the Americans? I'm
Americans. I'm always with the Americans.
I'm with Charlie.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
no, really. Wait, really?
I need to look more into this conflict.
So if the Gooks had, so let's take it back to 68, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like mid-Vietnam War. That's like the height of it. Or the beginning of the height of it. Tet Offensive, 500,000 American troops are there. If Charlie had won then, the Tet Offensive, like if it had been successful, and I wish it had been, if the Tet Offensive in 1968 had been a successful, which was an attack mostly against U.S. military bases in Vietnam. Like, excuse me, Paul Revere, Whose fucking side are we on, guys?
Vietnamese
were expelling. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
How can you not be on the side of the Vietnamese if you're on the side of Paul Revere?
More dead Americans would embolden support for the conflict. The more, I think if you see the enemy killing Americans, we're going to send more Americans there.
Wait, first point. I just want you to deal with. If you're pro Paul Revere, meaning you're pro American Revolution, pro George Washington, really? How can you not be pro Viet Cong? Tell me how on fucking it when they launched rockets against United States military bases, which were full of thousands of American boys who looked exactly like you. Exactly like you. Thousands of them and rockets. How can you be pro-America and not be pro-Viet Cong? Seriously.
I think more dead Americans would embolden them would embolden Americans to see Viet Cong as an enemy. And it might go longer. I'm not super into this conflict necessarily. I'm not super invested into it, but I think there are easy diplomatic outs to say, hey, there's no advantage to us continuing this conflict. I think Republicans are the ones to see that. I think Republicans are the anti-war party pretty generally.
Wait, I'm sorry, Michael. I'm just this is something I got.
And I'm not necessarily I'm not necessarily super pro Paul Revere. I mean, I like America a lot.
I know. I was making you a stand-in for those who do, right? The red, white, and blue fuckers.
A little bit. I'm there a little bit, but yeah.
MAGA. Again, I'm talking to MAGA, not you. I'm talking to MAGA. So we know, you know, if you've heard me talk about it in my course or wherever, you don't even need me for this. Like the Zionists themselves who founded Israel said, we are a colonial project. They said the Jewish state is a colony. This will be a colony. We are going to colonize that land. No, listen.
I think Europeans do it better
they've been pretty, I mean, hey, give the Jews credit for this shit. Although I don't think Zionists are Jews. I think they're a cult that's a split off of Jews. But anyway, okay. So if we take them at their word, which is that they colonized this place and made it a colony, you guys know that word? I'm talking to Americans now. How on earth are we not on the side of Hamas? What? We should be on the side of Hamas. We're against them because why again? Oh, because they're brutal. Do you know what American colonists did to British loyalists? Have you heard of tarring and feathering? Yeah, that was invented by American colonists, our heroes. Is what they did to British loyalists. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the streets. They covered them in hot tar and then covered them in feathers and then marched them through the streets and then beat them to death. Like, are you serious, people? How are you not on the side of Hamas? I don't mean endorsing Islamism. I mean on their side in this fight.
Yeah.
Why are people so incapable of making an adult decision about this?
Yeah, I get you. And Pat Buchanan made that point, not about Hamas in particular, but about the Palestinian nationalism, and that said,
yes,
like it was
Pat's the man,
just like
because he's a racist. Yes, no,
yeah. Well, again, I think he's owed an apology.
No, but how? Wait, but by the way, now how is Pat Buchanan a racist? Right? Mm-hmm. If he's taking the side of Palestinians, right? I mean, of course he's not. Mm-hmm. And I was wrong. I used to think he was. Mm-hmm. And this is my public apology to Patrick.
He's still alive. He's still alive. And
I've never talked to him, but we have many friends in common. Like everybody I know who knows him says he's like the nicest, kindest, sweetest man ever. Mm-hmm. And I believe it. And most importantly, he was right about World War II and about Israel and about American foreign policy and about what a republic is versus an empire. Mm-hmm. And everyone should go read him and agree with him on those major issues if you want to survive as the America that we love.
He's got measured takes about supporting Vietnam still. He's very attached to the Nixon project, but
wow.
Yeah, I still need to read and get into, but I'm trying to, I'm not willing to stake a position on that yet. Why did I bring him up though? I was reading his book, State of Emergency, from 2006, which is his anti-immigration tome. But in that, he talks about, I mean, you brought up Compton, and you said, what if you're a white guy? But he brought up something Daryl Cooper talks about a lot, is the Mexican and black gang wars that have been happening in LA, because the Hispanicization of a lot of neighborhoods in LA and the gang warfare and turf warfare happening there. Yep. He brought up Ukraine in 2006. He said Ukraine is going to be a hotbed of war because it's ethnically Russian, because it has an ethnically Russian East. And he was totally right on that. But there's a number of ideas in there. Shoot, I was going to try to bring this up at some point, but would you support, for example, banning dual citizenship and in any capacity for the United States? And maybe not even dual citizenship. I think that might be tough for you to support, but would you be in favor at least of, if you serve in a foreign military, you can't have American citizenship?
I'm just right now thinking about what AIPAC is doing with this video. Icarus Fest is going to be interesting.
Yeah. There have been some very revealing Jonathan Greenblatt videos from the past week too.
And by the way, Icarus Fest tickets are selling like hotcakes, and I'm not kidding. There are, I think, 20 left. So there are literally 20. The VIP is all sold out. There's 20 general admission GAs. You can there's 20 left, and there's a week and a half to go. I'm just saying, but no, but yeah, I think that AIPAC is going to be at that festival. Mm-hmm. I think when you buy a ticket to Icarus, you can expect to be sitting next to an AIPAC operative, and probably some Mossad. There's going to be Mossad in the audience. Why wouldn't there be? Barry Weiss will have people in there. She'll have agents of various. If you see like a really stereotypes. If you see like a really like educated looking young Jewish woman sitting in the audience, you should talk to her.
The Williams Center is a very old building. It has some very large vents that I believe would be pretty easy to navigate.
Man, if I weren't sure we were gonna have a sellout, I wouldn't be saying this. But I really, now that there could be.
Well, that's why our prices are.
If you guys, hey, listen,
we raised the prices.
If you want to be part of history, buy one of those last 20 tickets. They'll be gone pretty soon. So I'm just saying. No, there will be. I bet there'll be some free press. I bet there'll be a free press correspondent in the audience.
No, the AIPAC looked at those ticket prices and they're like $40. No way. No, I was gonna spy on them.
They tried to do that to us 2 years ago with Curtis Yarvin. Remember? They were gonna have Daily Wire or Daily Caller, one of them.
Really? Oh, well, there's a Yarvin hit piece that came out right after our event, and there was a Yarvin hit piece that came out that weekend in our Chicago event.
It was either Daily Wire or it was Daily Wire. It was Shapiro's joint.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I got an email. I told you about it.
Okay.
I sent it to you. And they were like, "Oh, can we get some comp tickets? We want to cover this." And I was like, I didn't respond. But like they were gonna, of course. Anyway,
Ben Shapiro wanted to get in for free. Ben Shapiro couldn't.
Not Ben himself. His boy. He was gonna send his boy in. But no. But all right. Listen. Let's get serious here.
And there were some very fetty people. There was a couple fetty people at that event. But
fetty, like fetish?
Yeah. Well, like
fet life. What do you mean?
No, people who I don't want to give too much away here about privacy, but there are some people that just
you're not going to tell them up at the party on Saturday night.
There were some glowies. There were some glowies.
Wait, don't say it. Don't talk about the party at night on the thing we had on Saturday. Just don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. We had to spend a lot for cleanup costs, but like, just don't. Can you not? It's fine. At that, so okay. Listen, everybody. The story is that Diddy at that point had already done a lot of his parties, and we sort of knew about how they went down, so to speak. So we were aspiring businessmen, right, Michael? And so we just thought, let's emulate the successful.
No.
And so what?
Yeah.
The baby oil. You found it
like all the other celebrities. You
went to the CVS. No, you went to the CVS warehouse where they had the extra pallets of baby oil, and that's what on Friday night. Remember?
Gotcha.
And I had to drive you. Yeah.
Anything to avoid talking about dual citizenship. But
it's just the Jew hate is just.
I didn't bring up any particular nation, but
is any show ever hated Jews as much as this one? I don't know. I don't think so. Look at this man in this camouflage. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Jew hate. Go ahead. Dual. Yeah. What about it? I'm for it. I want multi-citizenship. Do you not? I want to be a citizen of every country.
But if you're trying to, okay,
that's the yes. Go. Keep going.
Well, if
that's the problem. Keep going.
There's a certain country that occupies Washington D.C. right now. That
yeah.
That. And dude, we've got people who have served in the IDF. We have IDF like soldiers in Congress. Yeah. We have and
they wear the uniform, the IDF uniform. What's dude's name? Brian. What's the guy's name? The congressman. Fuck, that guy is amazing. Mast.
Yeah,
Brian Mast. He's got one leg, and I'm glad. He wore an IDF uniform into Congress. He lost his leg, I believe, in Iraq. Didn't he?
Yes, I think so.
And he volunteered. He volunteered for combat duty. And so, I'm not unhappy that he lost his leg, frankly. I mean, he wanted it. He got it. He got what he wanted. He's now a martyr. God bless. Oh, but only Hamas wants martyr. Palestinians like martyrs, but look at me with my blown off leg. I'm a martyr. Love me. And also I love anyway, sorry.
Shouldn't, you do have a problem with people who serve in the IDF.
Jews?
Making
law. Is
Brian Mast Jewish? I don't know.
No, it's the Gentile Zionists who I just wow. I just wow. How many kids do you want to kill? Like wow. Okay, cool.
Simple measures. Like there is an oath of citizenship to renounce loyalty to any other country, to any
Jewish
other crown,
state,
any other crown.
Yeah,
whatever the country might be. And doesn't it completely go against that oath to have citizenship in another country? Somebody, you can't serve two masters. Can't serve two masters. You'll hate one and serve the other. And wearing the uniform of a foreign military that has sold state secrets from the United States to its adversaries, and that has bombed the United States without apology before. Wearing a foreign, doesn't that compromise your loyalty to the United States? And shouldn't you be questioning those types of people joining and making laws for this country and having positions of power?
Okay.
And wouldn't just a couple simple measures to make the oath of citizenship actually mean what it says be something that pretty much all Americans support, and that would go a step towards harboring peace?
Yeah. I'm a Jewish supremacist. Did you know that?
Yes.
Tell me.
How do you know
that?
Because all you've been talking about is how Jews are better than everybody else, and that this war embarrasses you because nobody thinks Jews are smart anymore. And your primary concern about this war is that it jeopardizes the safety of Jews.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
I'm like, who's the ethno-nationalist here?
I love this.
Who's
I
the
love you so
supremacist here?
I love you so much, Michael Weimer. Yes, correct. Exactly. 100%. That's it. I forget what I was going to say. No, no, I mean, it's a thing. Jewish supremacism among non-Israeli Jews, among like
it's honestly
like
the only brand of supremacism I've ever seen. It's the only supremacism I've actually ever seen.
Among Bob Halpern, my friend from Poughkeepsie, and like hundreds of Jews I've known. Like American Jews, and even in my own family, even I dare to say my own possibly son. Not that like there's any kind of like explicit statement of Jews being better genetically than other races or whatever, but there's a whole lot of pride among, I know, American Jews.
Are you saying that there's something cultural about being Jewish that makes you think that you're like
better
chosen people or something that makes you think you have special blood that makes you better than everybody else?
Like better, like above. Yeah, in some way better. Yeah, like I'm hideous and ugly and no girl likes me, but I beat you on the IQ score. Been around some of those. But yeah, but attributing it to Jewishness, that's the problem, right? Is when it,
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I finish?
Okay.
You just been talking so much tonight. I don't know.
All right.
So Jews were extremely successful when they got to Europe. So from the Middle Ages onward, and in particular in the modern age, like from the 1600s, 1700s onward, Jews in Europe, and I have ancestors, whatever, I think my Jews were fucking losers, but most Jews began to become like quite successful. And there's reason for that Jews have had as a tradition, an extraordinary intellectual orientation. How's that? Because Judaism, this is the theory, has been determined and defined over 2,000 years by what? Like, what is Judaism? The reference point to answer that question has been the rabbis, right? So the rabbinate, which is 2,000 years of dudes with the beards and all the shit, the rabbis, 2,000 years, Talmud, writing the Talmud since the Torah, interpreting the Torah in various ways and telling us what Judaism really is. And this is what Judaism has become. It's the Torah plus the Talmud, which is just writings by a bunch of dudes with beards. Then, because of that, Jews have been especially intellectual because it's been about a fucking bunch of arguments about what the goddamn Torah really means. Do we really need to not eat shellfish ever? How is that what God intended? Look at the fucking text, Moishe. And they would argue about the words in the fucking text. And that's the argument, the theory about why Jews are so intellectual. Could be wrong. I like it. I don't know. It's why I love Jewish culture. Yes, I'm a supremacist. I should be like a Haredi rabbi, like pro-Palestinian, but a Jewish supremacist at the same time.
This is the thing, though. Your career has been arguing for the abolition of race, and here you are.
No, I'm talking about culture, bro.
Okay.
Does anyone think that I have anybody in my ancestry who ever lived anywhere near Palestine? Look at me. I mean, come on. These Ashkenazi Jews are fucking frauds when they talk about being from Palestine. Are you joking?
Well,
no,
yeah.
But I'm not. It's not racial. No, I mean as a culture. And by the way, as I said, Yemeni Jews are like completely foreign to most Ashkenazi.
But
the
culture doesn't come from nowhere.
My thing is, all I really know is Ashkenazi American Jewish culture. That's it, which is a very particular. It's big, but it's a very particular thing, and it's my favorite. It's even better than the blacks and the gays. It's Jews, blacks, gays. That's the ranking, right?
Of problems.
Oh my god!
Wow. Yeah. Sorry.
I like
to go by the singular.
Wow.
The Jew.
In
the
providing
black, the gay. I like to go by the singular.
I know you do. No, I was gonna say. No, in providing America with most of what we all value, including you, fucker, right, Mr. Drummer? Like, yeah, take the blacks and the gays and the Jews out of our society, and you and I are leaving to go to someplace more interesting, right? Right? It's Switzerland without the Alps. If we get rid of the Jews, the blacks, and the gays.
I've never advocated for getting rid of them. Are you
not aware of my second book? Do you not know my second book?
This is the thing, though. Why do you think
Simon and Schuster? It published. It was on it. You thought you.
This is the false binary. Why does criticizing the role that I was talking about Israel, but apparently that's Jews now. Why does criticizing the role of power that one ethnic group plays and say maybe they shouldn't have that role in society? That's different than get rid of all of them. I'm just saying, don't allow people who have citizenship with a nation have citizenship to our nation. It doesn't mean they can't be here. It doesn't mean they can't contribute to our culture.
Who are we talking about?
Israel.
Who are we talking about?
Like anybody with dual citizenship. Anybody with dual citizenship. You're the one equating Israel to Jews now, so fine, we could work within that paradigm. But
Michael, who do you want to deport? That's all I want to know.
Well, want to deport? This is another interesting thing. Pat Buchanan's state of emergency.
You want to deport Israelis?
Do you?
No.
No. Do you want them? No. Do you want them to have influence over American foreign policy?
No, but that's a different question.
Do you want them to be able to vote?
The next guests on Unregistered are going to be Israelis.
Do you want people with citizenship in Israel
who are like 20-year-old kids who went to prison who refused to go into the IDF to serve in Gaza? Like Meservot, they're the draft resistors in Israel. Like I know there's 300 of them. It's a tiny percentage but there are Israelis who are.
I might be wrong, but there's a lot of I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot of American citizens who have served in the IDF.
Oh yeah.
Do you want those people to vote?
Oh fuck every single one of them.
Do you want them to vote?
I mean,
do you want them to have influence in America? Do you want them to have the privileges of American citizenship?
Not particularly, yeah.
So ban it. Yeah. So let's not even go with dual citizenship. Let's just say if you serve in another military.
Oh yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
You can't.
No, I would enslave them actually.
Okay.
I would amend the 13th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And just at the end say, except IDF soldiers, veterans. No, and I'm joking.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly joking. So, Gaza City.
Yes. Occupation.
Yeah, I want to talk about this.
Hasn't been executed yet, but it's been announced. And it seems like this is the final point. Yeah.
Yeah. I am increasingly coming to the conclusion. I don't know. View that this is a bluff.
Okay.
I hope it is. Because Everybody I've seen, from fucking Jonathan Conricus, former IDF spokesperson, who's all over YouTube, I'm sure people watching this know him, to Dan Senor of the Call Me Back podcast, which is the biggest pro-Israel podcast there is, Amit Segal, who is the major Israeli journalist who has distributed much of the information about this plan, Nadav Ayal, the other major Israeli journalist who gets into American media. I'm sure most people watching this know these names. I have never seen. Oh, and then like American Zionist government officials, congresspeople, senators. I have never, ever seen, no one has ever seen that cadre of people opposing a stated military objective of Israel. Like, what? Which leads me to believe that Netanyahu maybe got a little like inspiration from Trump. And Trump, do you guys understand this shit? Trump was elected to the United States presidency because he was the star of a TV show. What was Trump's favorite spectator sport? This is, I mean, it's true though. This is how stupid America. WWF. What did Trump do when it came to addressing the issue of Iran versus Israel? He went WWF. He was like, "Oh, you're right. Israel, you're crazy. I'm gonna tell you guys to stop. And Iran, we're gonna make sure you don't get bombed by Israel." And then, oh, last second, pull the rug, drop the hammer, jump off the top rope, fake them out. It's amazing. I mean, this is truly like what we're dealing with. I mean, I don't know if I prefer this to the bureaucratic matrix that we had in American politics before this, but that's where we are.
I think
it's WWF politics.
Yes,
bro.
but that just shows
that's how stupid it is.
But he's incredibly media savvy. Like, I think it's a total asset to him, and it shows that he knows how things work. He knows.
Wait a second. Wait. Yeah.
Heavy level of intelligence here.
Media savvy, right? Yeah. But like, which media, which audience, right? Tim Pool apparently is media savvy, right? Because he has a huge audience. I'm saying there's like a lot of stupid idiots.
Well,
on Twitter,
yeah,
right? You could cull an audience out of.
Well, for example, like he knows storytelling, he knows long-term storytelling, and he knows how factions work. And for example, with the Russia thing that's happening right now, the Alaska summit, a big part of getting the Russiagate files out is to stop seeing Russia as an adversary and to get it out that, oh, wait a minute, Russia was never actually attacking the United States. He needs people to accept that narrative. Even if Russia was attacking the United States, he's making this all up. The way to get to peace is by getting the public to accept the meta narrative that they were duped to and that they were lied by the elites of the past, and that Russia actually did not hack the elections, that Russia hasn't been an adversary of the United States this whole time. He knows how things work out. And also another thing is just like
you just said, wait, he knows how things work out.
Yeah. He knows that, for example, he has to play tough to Russia. He has to send those nuclear submarines.
Oh, okay.
To look tough so that Western elites will think, oh, he's not giving them everything on a silver platter. He has to posture and look tough. He has to make it what you said needs to be a concession speech. He has to sell that quote unquote concession speech in a way to where American elites and European elites think that Putin is giving up something when in reality he's not. It's all about the sell and the narrative and the promo. And yeah, he's been doing great at that. And the thing on the Iran thing, I think Iran, I mean, I think Israel legitimately bombed Iran without permission from the United States. I think
no.
Okay,
that's ridiculous.
I think they jumped the gun, and Trump allowed. We had bombs over Tel Aviv, and we did not invade Iran. So,
Michael,
yeah,
bad boy.
We had bombs over Tel Aviv.
That is. Wait, you think Israel did that strike without the U.S. knowing about it or approving of it?
Yeah, I think they are the ones who, yeah. And I think narratively, the United States can't say, oh, we're not in control of Israel. The United States can't say that. And the United States can't, in terms of narrative, punish Israel for breaking rank. Okay, and the way that they punished Israel was by allowing Iran to bomb Tel Aviv for as long as they did. And I think Israel is in a much weaker position than a lot of people think they are. Also,
you underestimate the deviousness of Jews. Okay, and we'll take that up next episode. You don't know about the Jews, man. They will fucking. No, they have a mind control thing.
They have a mind control.
It's called porn.
Yeah. Yes.
Have you heard of it? You've heard of porn?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jews.
That's their weapon. That's their
this is not a joke in any way at all. Jews, I think American Jews entirely. Yeah, American Jews basically invented, created, distributed, modern pornography as we know it. Like it's an entirely Jewish industry, for the first century. Mm-hmm. And what would you say that's a credit to the Jews or a mark of shame?
How many people are proud of their porn usage? Does using porn inspire pride or shame?
Connor Habib and I. He's gay. I'm not. We both. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying distribution, representation. Yeah, we've got a gay guy.
I think some.
Are you? Wait,
I think for the vast majority of people.
Why would anybody be ashamed of that? What on earth is to be ashamed of?
Mm-hmm. Well, for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's entirely socially constructed. But most people are ashamed of their porn use. Wow. And don't talk about it in public.
We're going to be like sleeping in the same house in a week and a half. I don't know, dude. I don't want to go here. Onanism. Onanism. You're anti-onan? You're anti-onan?
Yeah.
What do you mean correct?
Yes, I'm anti-onanism. Yeah.
So were you a member of the Proud Boys when Gavin McInnes instituted the no FAP rule? Is that what you're saying here?
That is the history of that organization.
Is that how Nazi you are? Like we're that right wing? Like
that is one of the ways I am boycotting, divesting, and sanctioning the state of Israel. Yes.
Oh fuck. Okay. So guys, that's what I'm dealing with here. I just need everyone to know I own this. There was no application process. Okay. I should have had one. I should have had an EEOC, HR department. He seemed smart. Okay. He seemed like he knew. He came to my classes, my courses. He was in there. He seemed smart. Okay. I didn't know. Michael Weimer, you're the best.
Yeah. Two things I want to say real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Get off. I know. There's two things that needed.
I thought I knew you.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
You were talking about we were talking about elites and their obsession with wars in Europe. There's been
Well, Europe in general.
Yeah.
Croissants and war. is what they generally love.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that? Yeah, your typical denizen of the Upper West Side, they love two things: croissant, and war. In Europe, they generally want to encourage the two things. We want more croissant and more war in Europe. Am I wrong, guys? Look at the last 125 years. I'm sorry, continue.
So if the war does not include a European power, it is outside of the purview of Western elites. And so if Trump brokers a peace deal between Armenia and Azerbaijan, it goes unnoticed, even though that's a 50-year conflict in the modern sense, and it's gone back way longer, and it's had tens of thousands of deaths, and it's escalated in a dangerous way in the last 5 years. But Trump brokered a peace deal in this last week between Armenia and Azerbaijan, had both leaders shaking hands at the table. And if there's a war between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, American elites don't care about it, don't give Trump credit for brokering a peace deal between them. It's not at all on the agenda for your standard liberal elites to broker peace in Africa. It serves them no benefit. The Thailand and Cambodia peace deal, nobody really cares about that. And
yeah.
So just something to observe. We're knocking on 5 Nobel Peace nominations. But yeah.
Terrible, horrific things are going to happen all around the world, every day, forever, no matter what we do. But, we can stop our own government, which we finance, from participating in those horrible things. And that's really it. And we just don't need it as Americans. We can have the most amazing defensive military, like the most amazing defensive military right now, and reduce our military budget by probably 75% and still no one could ever invade the US. If we just make our military into a defensive military, no one could ever invade us. In fact, you could argue that it's easier to invade us now than it would be if we made our military into a truly defensive force. And in fact, I should write that article. Michael, we got to go, man. But listen, we got to go to the show. The party.
Last thing. I got to go
to the party. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Last thing, I promise. The Alaska Summit is this Friday, August 15th. In the Catholic calendar is the Feast of the Assumption of Mary. That has a lot of significance. If anybody knows about the prophecy of Fatima, the stars are aligning on this one. Do everything you can to pray for peace.
I fucking love Fatima.
Yeah.
That bitch is fine.
It's
sorry.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's not a coincidence that the summit that might announce the peace deal.
Wasn't she a hottie like in the Bible? Isn't that her thing?
No. This is Portugal. There was a miracle in Portugal. In 1917, and it talked about how Russia needs to be consecrated. There's also, Fatima. Russia needs to be consecrated. There's going to be 100 years of war. You know, Russia is going to be a boiling point. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about porn.
Yeah.
I thought it was PHA Fatima. I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Can we go now? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Ukraine has a history with Saint Michael the Archangel.
I thought it was PHAT. Emma. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yep. It's happening.
Guys, listen. Tell your children to not ever do drugs. Don't just right now when you put them to bed. Just say to them, "Don't do drugs." Okay.
Yep. It's crunch time though. I'm just saying, it's crunch time. Has a lot of significance. Yeah.
About what? Wait, what?
Time is of the essence. Pray as much as you possibly can in the next 2 days.
About what?
That Russia be consecrated to the Virgin Mary. That peace reigns in Ukraine. Pray to Saint Michael for Ukraine.
Wait, what's happening in 2 days? What's in 2 days?
The Alaska Summit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Jesus Christ! I thought you were getting like Jesus on me. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about how many dead men there will not be on the day after. If they actually, right?
If they actually pull this thing off, yeah.
I mean, even just a ceasefire. Like, think about World War I, the famous stories about ceasefires in World War I, right?
It happened on Christmas,
and then they reneged it, and then I don't know, 1,000 dudes got mowed down, heads blown off. Yeah. Pray.
Yeah,
Michael. Pray.
It's
talk the way we are, but pray too. Fuck yeah. Can we curse when we pray?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever comes from the heart, as long as it comes from the heart.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah.
Stop people from being killed, man.
And
fucking God.
Now, since we brought that up, the people trying to discredit Tucker Carlson are now trying to call a nun a liar. That's the new strategy, is to say.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't be transactional with the God, though, can I? I can't be like, I know. I can't be like, so if you stop the killing and the dismembering of the babies in Gaza, I will believe in you. I can't do that, right?
As long as it's not vain. As long as you actually,
that's transactional.
You could be,
which it is. I'm like, oh fuck no. Oh no. I'm not believing in your fucking God unless he gives me some shit in return. So it needs, and I need receipts too. Like, but mostly I just need like a commitment, a contract. Like, you do this, I will give you this. You stop the killing in Gaza, I will believe in you. Why can't we do that, Michael? Why is that a problem?
That places you above him.
I thought your God was super powerful.
He is.
What the fuck, dude? Have you seen the babies? Like, why can't he do that shit?
Yeah.
He's like, he's busy. What's up?
We're busy.
You know, I'll be a Catholic in a second because I love your shit. I love Catholics. I'll be a Catholic in a dude. If he stops the killing of babies in Gaza, this is hello. Does God watch podcasts? If you see me, I will do that. I'll be a Catholic, hardcore believer. Yeah. Especially because I heard that priests can be gay. But anyway, I will be completely, if you can stop. Really, I don't want to see another like 5-year-old girl with no arms. For real. Okay. I'm sorry. That was really rude and unfair to your religion.
Yeah. I do want to say
to you and your family and your lineage.
No, that's
and
fine.
Everything you represent. I'm sorry. I really am. But what the fuck, man? Not to you. I just what the fuck? How are Christians? Aren't a lot of Christians? I know a lot of Christians have been up in arms about this because a lot of Christians are actually Christians and they don't like children being killed.
Yeah. That's what I was bringing up. Tucker Carlson had a nun on
for a political purpose, which is what this is. Yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah,
basically called it out as a heresy. Called dispensationalism out as a total heresy, totally antithetical. Jonathan Rumi, the actor who plays Jesus in the hit Amazon series The Chosen, he did a thing about he wore a keffiyeh when he visited the Holy Land for a big special that went out through Catholic media. And surprise, surprise, a guy who looks exactly like Jesus has Palestinian heritage. Somehow, a guy that looks exactly like
He doesn't look
Jesus.
like me?
No.
We are the chosen. We're the indigenous people of Palestine. Like, can you imagine thinking that someone who looks like Benjamin Netanyahu is indigenous to Palestine and therefore has more rights to the land than someone who looks like basically any Palestinian? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
That's my racial commentary for the day. Michael, we got to go. Oh, we got to go to the show. Dude, I'm stoked for this one. Oh, we're going to party hard on this one.
Yep. After the party is the after party.
Yeah.
After that's the hotel lobby. After that, you got to
Hotel
clear the
lobby?
lobby.
You're talking about the suite, nigga. I'm sorry, what? Who said that?
R. Kelly, another boy from
Did
Chicago.
you put some audio? Did you do an audio insertion there?
Yep.
I'm gonna do
DannyEspresso.substack.com. All the articles, everything unregistered, after show links.
Yeah.
Again, this show is basically a pre-show. The real show happens on Zoom.
We're gonna have a live stream from R. Kelly from prison, Cook County Correctional Institute. Yeah, he'll be in there. No, it's awesome. It's the highlight of my week and day. And it has been since, God, we've been doing it since 2000. What is it? 19. So 6 years. Wow. Every week for 6 years. It's the best. Yeah, but you got to just be a Substack. Sorry, paid subscriber. Oh my God, it's so cheap. Do it. Unless you want to Jew me down, which is cool. Just tell me that you're doing that when you do it. You know what I'm saying? Just send me a DM saying I'm Jewing you down. I'm just going to be a free subscriber. Then I will respect you. All right, let's go. We're out.
Cool. We're out.
Going to the party.
After the party is the after party. Peace. Shalom.
Peace.
We are out.